Hi, everyone. My name is Cesar Pineda,
And I'm Delme Panetta.
and we are the Farmers Insurance Cesar Pineda Agency in South Norwalk, Connecticut. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're talking about a very interesting topic, something that I've been wanting to discuss for a while. And what a better person to bring this up to than my wife, who I know very well, and yet she always surprises me when it comes to this one subject. And that subject is cheap better? And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Please put your comments below. But let's start by asking you, May, what does cheap mean to you?
Cheap to me means flimsy, that I'm getting what I'm going to pay for.
Okay, and how does that translate to products and services that you actually buy?
That I really don't expect the cheap products to either last a long time or for it to have a high quality. Like I'm literally just either getting it for that day or for the weekend and then tossing it out later on.
Okay. So from what you're saying, you tend to go with the higher price products, feeling like they're better quality and therefore they're worth the price.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so I believe the same. I believe cheap means bad.
Chichipata.
Chichipato, which for us Colombians means flimsy or eh. But yeah, so I agree with you in that sense. However, even in my own life, even with services and products that I buy, I find it hard to pay for the higher priced option.
Yes. And you end up like paying a little bit more later down the line. For
Yeah.
example, Caesar just got like a brand new receiver for audio
Mm,
because he's a very he loves movies and stuff. But we wanted to keep the speakers because
it was cheaper.
and then of course like the communication between the receiver and the speakers
Immediately
are like
noticeable.
decades apart.
Yeah, immediately you can notice the difference. But yeah, so that's a great example. I'm happy you bring that up because I myself have a hard time, coming to terms with this, which is sometimes to get a better product, you have to pay more, right? And so for us in the insurance world, I am able to understand very, very clearly that if you choose a lower option, you're getting a lesser product. And when you have a lesser product and then you have a bad experience because you didn't understand that you had a lesser product, that's going to result in you being very upset, angry at your insurance agency, angry at your insurance company, and angry at the whole concept of insurance in general because you feel cheated. However, it was you who selected those coverages.
Right.
Nobody forced you, or at least they should have educated you on the different options,
Right.
given sometimes that's not the case. But if somebody educated you in the different options and you went with the cheapest option, then you got the cheapest results,
Right.
right?
Right.
So for me, I do find it that it has changed my way of looking at many things. I do have this argument in my head, they're just overpricing it, right? But I have, like May said, found out the hard way that sometimes it is for a reason that they're overpriced
Right.
or, priced accordingly, I guess. And it's the other ones that they cut corners and that's how they got to that price.
Yeah. I mean, the older I get, the better I am at getting the experience of finding out the difference between cheap products and services and quality product and services. There comes to a point where, of course, like something that is put out there is more expensive than I would pay for.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something worth that, like for example, let's say for insurance, the whole point of insurance is you're buying um, financial security for the future.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to end up in an accident and if I die one day and then what are you going to do
Yeah.
with all the bills you have to pay, my funeral, etc., that kind of stuff. It's such a morbid thing to talk about, but this is the reality of things.
Yeah.
It touches everything that in our life, like even just going back to a lighter subject like skincare products. If I buy a cheap skincare product, that could affect my skin for
Mm.
months, and then I end up going to a doctor to fix it.
Paying more money.
Exactly. So it's, again, use your better judgment.
So, what are some examples of cheap being good, and what are some examples of cheap being bad? So, for example, I know that you just got the
Cheap
AirPods.
alcohol is good.
I love cheap alcohol. Okay, don't mess with my cheap vodka. Just kidding. But yeah. So you just bought a set of AirPods,
Right.
which is the most absurd product in
Yeah.
history, I believe, because it started out as a joke, as a meme,
Yeah.
and somehow it turned into everyone has them and everyone needs them.
Yeah.
And when you got it,
I earned my
she did really well a few months ago, and so she earned that as her bonus, basically. But I was surprised at how good it was.
yeah. And like
Like, it's insane.
the noise canceling, it just like made your mind go
Yeah, like I'm the kind of person that buys the knockoff version because I'm like, it's the same thing.
right.
Like, it's probably just different,
Yeah.
branding and casing, and it's the same product.
You wouldn't know the difference between Gucci and Poochie.
Well, let's get into purses in a second because I still have an issue with that. But these AirPods are amazing.
Mhm.
Like she said, the noise canceling and the quality and the compactness, and I gotta give it to Apple. I hate that they made this thing that nobody needed indispensable,
Mhm.
and they eliminated my headphone jack, which I'm
Yeah.
so angry about.
Still mad about it.
But ultimately, they did improve,
Yes.
something that needed improving. And
Right.
so I do have to give them respect. And I found out the hard way that, yeah, they're worth what they're worth.
Hmm.
Well, debatable, I guess, but at least worth more than what I originally thought
Yeah.
that they were.
Yeah.
Another example, I'm happy you brought it up, is bags. Because I still think
Absolutely.
bags are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
guy, I
mean,
don't understand it, but
you're lucky that I'm not obsessed with those. Because for me personally, I prefer a more leather handcrafted, like from an artisan, versus like someone with um, branded logos and it's made in a factory. That's not, and then the price is like $10,000 or
right.
even up to
And
one
things
hundred
are
fifty
whatever
thousand
people are
dollars.
willing to pay for them. So I
Right.
guess there are 10,000, but there are 20,000, there are
There's also
30,000.
$20 bags.
Exactly. And again, I don't fully understand this world, but to me it's overpriced for no reason. I might be wrong. But yeah, so there are different examples. Somewhere cheap is good, somewhere cheap is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that brings me to my other, main question that I wanted to ask you. Does cheap, like, is it the only thing that matters? So let's talk about a
No.
service, right? And we are a service. Insurance
Mm-hmm.
is a service, not only because you pay for a product where if you have an accident, you will, get a coverage through a claim, but you pay for the service for a person that works on your policy, somebody who takes your bills, someone who makes changes on your behalf, someone who gives you advice if you have a local agency. Does it matter if you get all that or if you don't get all that, as long as the price is cheap?
I think nowadays it's really tough for people because, especially for millennials, we're so used to Googling stuff and looking into Reddit, into Google, like other people's experiences and stuff like that. And it's actually you were the one who really taught me into this. It kind of really doesn't matter what other people say when it comes to services because like for example I think we had really bad experience at a recent hotel stay in Chicago and the brand was pretty good
Mm-hmm.
but then oh my god the front desk lady was like borderline racist I think
Yeah.
yeah and it
But I
was
think it was also related to her being under influences. It was pretty obvious.
yeah but still it was that was strange to say the least
Yeah.
like we paid good money for that and just to be treated that way is like
Yeah, and so for the service industry, which, I come also from hospitality, that's a big no-no.
mm-hmm.
Like, they teach you client is, or, person staying in the hotel, or whatever you want to call them, is number one priority. And you want to be the best version of yourself so that person leaves with a happy experience and they
Right.
say, I love this place, I'm going to come back, right?
Right. So the way it translates to what we offer here, I mean, we've talked about this numerous times that we do notice that even at our end when we call services and stuff, the difference between a cheap price and the quality product
Yeah.
that we offer. Oh my gosh.
The shortage in labor force recently has definitely reflected in crappy service.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's across
That's
the board.
putting that nicely. Mm-hmm.
It feels like if you are calling a 1-800 number, that person does not want to be there. That person is tired, overworked, underpaid, maybe, who knows. But they definitely don't want to deal with you, and they definitely don't want to, you know, care about you in a way that they put in themselves in your shoes. So they're going to do the bare minimum and give you the answer you want to hear, even if it's wrong.
Right, and that ends our clients in the hot water because sometimes they just want to say things to get us off the phone, which is incredibly wrong, giving us the wrong information.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is people's money. You don't mess
Yeah.
with people's money.
So having been doing this for such a long time, we put everything into giving a good customer experience
Mm-hmm.
so that they tell their friends, they tell their family, they keep doing business with us for a very, very long time. And sadly, recently it's made me question whether that even matters, because ultimately
No.
we've had people that we go above and beyond, like, and I really mean above and beyond, and they leave us for a few bucks.
Right.
So obviously we're not going to change who we are. We are very service oriented people, and we want to make people feel good and like feel happy that they're doing business with us. But it makes me sad that ultimately sometimes it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Just now, we just got a call of a person trying to come back to our
Yeah,
agency.
and they come back because of that, because
Yeah.
they notice that other agencies don't pick up their phones
Right.
and they're not there, and like they can't ever be reached, or they literally can just forward that to the 1-800 number, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a tough um I guess new world we're living in post pandemic with labor shortages
Hmm.
and everyone trying to work but still try to be mentally healthy and all that kind of stuff. And it's like
Yeah,
it's
but
tough.
ultimately I do have to pat us in the back, because in this world that you're describing,
Hmm.
we're still doing our thing, and people really notice that. Like, we're finding new and better ways to interact with our clients
Right.
and keep them updated on things that they should know. We're dealing with a lot of
All
weather
your
stuff,
videos, yeah.
that we remind people insurance is not a scam, because you will use the insurance when your roof flies off. You will use the insurance when you crash another car and they're
Right.
suing you.
You will
So
use the insurance if like a leak comes from your attic
yeah,
and goes all the way to your basement.
yeah, and this is what we
And
do every single day. I've said this before and I'll say it again.
the
Marketing for
loss
insurance.
abuse, you need to use it because you have to stay at a hotel for like a month because you can stay at your house because
Yeah.
the heat is off.
But yeah, marketing for property and casualty insurance has become about
Like funny. Oh,
yeah,
and we're
and
funny and we're cool and
it
relatable and hip.
like I get it, but at the same time it undermines the
The
reality,
service,
which
absolutely.
is
It does undermine the service that we actually offer.
you're paying for something.
Yeah.
You're paying for something that there's a high chance you will have to use.
Right.
You know,
I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but there was actually this
she got
thing.
excited, guys.
Yeah, I got it. There was actually like this thread that I was reading about this girl tweeting saying, "Yeah, I saved $3,000 by not paying my car insurance," and all the
Mm.
comments were like, you're the reason why our rates are going
Yeah.
up, and because $3,000 for 3 months, you must be a bad driver
Yep.
and you've probably had several accidents. Why are you rated that high?
Yeah. No. Again, the actions of a few
Right.
affect the whole
Multiple.
lot.
Yeah.
But it is how it works. If nobody who didn't need insurance didn't pay for it, the people who do would be paying like
Right.
impossible amounts, like undoable
I mean,
numbers.
essentially, insurance comes down to what the actuaries, the numbers, It's all
Yeah,
math to
yeah, it's all
them.
math, and nobody's
Probability.
gonna try to trick anybody. It's not about
Right.
profits. It's about, do we have enough? Do we not have enough? We
Right.
don't have enough. Okay, gotta increase it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so thank you for listening to us talk about this very interesting topic. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please comment below and let us know: is price ultimately the only thing that matters?
Nope.
I don't think it is either, but that is up to you to decide. If you have any questions, insurance related, you could call us at 203-803-2153 or come by our office in South Norwalk at 8 North Main Street in South Norwalk, Connecticut. And as a side note, come and meet our puppy,
Yeah,
Shoto.
we're socializing him.
He's been meeting new people every single day, and he's a good boy. So if you want to meet him, come by, get a quote, get a cup of coffee, and pet a puppy. That's marketing, guys. All right, everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Thank
Ciao,
you, May.
ciao.